Mind Your Job, episode 11, self-awareness. Today we're going to talk about self-awareness, and it's not always obvious what self-awareness is, but I'm going to tee it up a little bit for Sam since we were talking about this, but like picking your nose in public.
Not a good idea. Be aware of that. Yes.
Um, how you're talking to somebody on the phone, resting
Yeah.
your hands on your chin like you're not interested.
Mhm.
Some of the things like the nonverbal
Yes.
communication.
Yes, exactly.
And I think what it does is it gives away to people like, I'm not interested. You're not important. Oh my God, picking up your phone and starting texting in the middle of a conversation. I've never done that.
Hot kettle. What do you mean? What do you mean?
But I think we live in a time where because we have phones and
Yeah.
distraction, our awareness gets cued off.
I agree with you. I think the other piece of it is because we have phones and because we are now accessible all the time, anytime, the outside communicators also expect you to pick up your phone when they text you right away. And sometimes that's not appropriate because you're in a meeting, you're in an office, you're talking to somebody. So it's also understanding they can wait. Yes, I got this text. Guess what? I'm talking to you right now. So they can wait. And it's being aware, as you said, self awareness, it's being aware of how others are seeing you and how to make sure that you are presenting yourself in the best professional way possible. So, and as you mentioned, it was the nonverbal cues and little idiosyncrasies. But I'm also going to say it could be verbal as well. If you're in a meeting and you talk out of turn, and that's part of being aware, self-aware
Even
as
when
well.
I drop like 50 F-bombs in a meeting, does that make me not aware selflessly?
I'm pretty sure you're aware. I am pretty sure you're aware.
Tactically, I've heard that if you swear, you're the most honest
Yes,
person in the room.
I have no doubt. Your honesty, top notch. Right. Absolutely. But I do think self-awareness is more than just the physical movements or lack thereof, or how you hold yourself in a meeting, or how you look at somebody. Are you making eye contact? Are you talking to them? Um, are you nodding as they're talking to you? It's also, as we said, like in a meeting, not blurting things out, not going off on a tangent to try and be funny or do something silly in a serious meeting where there's actually a goal and an objective and you're trying to meet that objective in any which way, and kind of just going off on a tangent because you want to be funny and you want your team to like you. Be more aware of what's happening in the moment and what's appropriate.
I also think it's like you're a leader. I was telling Charlotte, who's my 8-year-old, last night about leaders and losers.
Okay, tell me more.
And this is a whole thing of like self-awareness. She's 8. Teacher puts her with a kid that is a really nice kid and extremely smart, probably Charlotte's intellectual equal. And Charlotte doesn't want to work with this kid. She only wants to work with this other kid who's her friend. And I tried to explain to her, like, leadership in life isn't always being everyone's friend. And I wrote
Yeah.
something about this today on LinkedIn. Leadership is about taking everybody that is in the mix and working with them at the same cadence that you would if you were that person's best friend, if you were their arch enemy. You may not like everything. And I think self awareness plays into this. You might not like somebody, and that's your issue, not theirs. That's on you.
Correct. That I agree with that.
But your self-awareness needs to be like, look, this person has to trust you,
Mhm.
especially if you're their leader. And you've got to lead that person and show them that you are all in with them. And I think what happens, and this happens from school age, which is why I'm saying this, you're like, I don't like that person. No particular reason in your head. So I'm not going to work hard to work with that person. And therefore I'm going to treat them like they're a loser. And please don't take this as like something metaphoric or mean or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you don't know what someone else is going through, what they're battling.
Everyone is battling something.
Just be
Ev-
kind. Just
Right.
work with someone. If
Right.
you can't work with them, then it's your turn to exit, because your job as a leader is to work with everybody. You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to be everybody's best friend. You don't have to get on the phone and gossip about stuff that's going on in the company with every single person, but you have to put your best foot forward because that's your job. That's what you're getting paid for.
To two items to follow that. My first is a question, which is, how did Charlotte take the conversation?
It was a very interesting conversation because even had started with something that was a little bit more aggressive to say to an 8-year-old.
Okay.
And I wasn't loving that fluff. And I said, there's a different way to handle her. She's 8. She's only in control of what she knows.
Right.
Don't expect her to be able to jump 5 steps forward. She's still 8.
Yes. I know your daughter very well. And I will say, as an 8-year-old, her vocabulary is insane. And so it is hard to remember she is 8 years old sometimes.
And I think
Yeah.
Stephen had that problem. I also think when you're dealing with smaller people,
Mhm.
and this can be kids that just graduate, they don't know what they don't know. Remember, their knowledge base is college, whatever their parents taught them, and whatever they might have picked up in high school.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of on you to be that person to train and develop somebody on awareness, not just self awareness, just awareness in general. How did I end that email? Was I positive throughout the conversation, or is everything negative? Was I me, or was I you?
So the other thing that came to mind when you were talking about if you don't like somebody, you still have to work with them or you should be working with them. The term that came to mind is fixed mindset. Don't have a fixed mindset. Be open to learning, be open to change, be open to learning how to work with somebody that maybe you don't get along with very well.
I have a doctor that I watch, and I'm like obsessed with what he has to say. And his big thing is ego, 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 ego. You and I get on phone calls,
Yeah.
and these doctors haven't even graduated,
Mhm.
and they're so egocentric, and they've got to drop the ego.
Yeah.
I'm 55. I don't have to be doing
No,
this and
I agree
helping
with you.
you anymore.
Yeah.
Your ego needs to go bye-bye. I am the conduit to help. I am not doing this for
Right.
as charity. Show some respect to people, be empathetic and compassionate. It gets you so much further. You catch more bees with honey than you do vinegar.
I agree with you. One thing that happened to me yesterday actually was I started an email to somebody, and let's just say their first name was Joe. So, and last name Smith, let's go with. So I started the email, Dear Joe, and I went along with what I had to say. Well, this person responded back and signed it Dr. Smith to elevate himself a little bit. How do you feel about that? I mean, granted, yes,
I
this person went to medical school, but we're both professionals in our field.
it depends. And I'll tell you, I have a lot of friends that are doctors.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of a career issue.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my friends are doctors, and some of them I call by their first name, Ron, Robin.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call them by their first name. I
Awesome.
won't say Dr. Ron. I don't say Dr. Robin. I will in front of Charlotte because I think at that age,
I
you do
agree.
need to show respect. But I don't because I have a familiarity with them and I have a very personal connection to them that's not just professional. But if you're in a professional setting, these guys went to 4 extra years of school to earn those letters. You got to kind of give it to them. I mean, do I think you're wrong? No. Do I think that guy was a little more arrogant? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just the again, the ego, the arrogance. You know what? It's
Yeah.
not sexy
No,
to the public.
it's
We
not.
don't care.
Right.
We want to have a relationship with you, whether we call you Joe Schmo
Mm-hmm.
or Dr. So and so. That's on us, but we're also the end of the line for the money line of helping you for your future.
I hear what you say. And I just want to say one thing on that topic. I do agree with you. These people went to school, they proved themselves, they earned the letters after their name. 100%. And if I'm going to an appointment, I will say, hello, Dr. So and so, because they're there to treat me and I am a patient. Professional to professional, there needs to be more respect across the board. That's how I feel.
I mean, I will tell you the funniest thing is I always think of
Oh, yeah.
I'm a huge
Yeah.
David to Beaver fan. And I
Yeah.
think he would walk into the house and be
Talk
like,
out of both sides of his mouth.
oh my God.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
one thing to the kids and
Yeah.
the other thing to the parents. And
Yes. Yes. Fair. Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, on that note, be self aware and ask questions. Self-awareness is also, am I doing this right? I mean,
Absolutely.
it just kind of goes to show you or shows to show you
Goes to show you.
or
Do
whatever you do.
take a moment, check in with yourself, check in with the people you work with. Make sure everyone's on the same page. And I agreed. Ask questions. Is this right? What could I be doing differently? Or do you have any feedback?
Mind your job.
Mind your job.